Good morning, beautiful people. Marie Alyssa here with another beautiful day south from Sydney. It's incredible. We are so blessed with warm winter days, and I'm absolutely loving it because it puts me instantly in a better mood. This morning, I would love to share with you a topic that I have talked about numerous times in the good old days before I started Loving Love After Loss and I was coaching business owners. And that is the topic of 6 human needs. By show of hands, or love hearts or likes, I'd really love to know who of you has heard of these 6 human needs before. I find now more than ever that we live in such uncertainty, and I'm getting to this topic in a minute. It is really important to remind ourselves what our human needs are and whether we attend to them or not. Um, I want to also further take this topic into the world of grief because when we are dealing with that, I'm just going to quickly start this up here so I can see if there are comments or likes because I can't ever see who that is. So the first pair, there are 3 pairs that we're going to talk about, and the first pair is certainty and variety. We all need certainty and variety in our lives. Why is this so important? In terms of uncertainty that I just touched on before, it is even more so important than ever that we have some sort of certainty in our life, in our heart. This is, good morning, Gail. Good morning. I love everybody coming on live with me. I can see there are quite a few people, but I can only see one name. So, anyway, certainty. What is certainty in your life right now? I'd really love for you to walk through that with me and apply that to your own life. Do a bit of a check-in. Where do you feel certainty in your life right now? For me, that is coming home to a beautiful house, a beautiful home that we have created as a family, to know that my kids are surrounding me, that we are there for each other, that we are really strong throughout this adversity, throughout this global virus that we all walking through right now, and in particular with us being in very, very strict lockdown at the moment. The borders have been, like the borders, our boundaries have been tightened to 5 kilometre radius. It is so important to know what do I have within this 5 kilometre radius. And I have to say, when I thought about what I'm going to share with you today, how incredibly blessed I felt knowing that I actually have everything I need within those 5 kilometers. I've got very close friends, and even though I can't physically really see them at the moment or hug them, that's my biggest thing. I know they're there. And, you know, with technology these days, I'm connected with friends around the world, which is really beautiful. It's not the same like hugging somebody, but it is just as close as we can get at this stage. I have pretty much all the shops that we need within 5 kilometers, which is also incredible. You know, I don't even have to leave my LGA, my local government area. I really have everything around me that I need. I have so much love in those 5 kilometers. I've got my boys, I've got my dog, I've got my cat. There's certainty in terms of there's no shortage of food and definitely no shortage of toilet paper. Pardon the pun, I had to bring that in there because that's always ridiculous how people go to town with that. And the pendant to certainty is variety. And that is also something that we need to be really mindful of. How do I create variety in a life that can easily feel like Groundhog Day at the moment? What can I do to spice up my daily routine? You know, I honestly urge you to add nature to that. You need to get out. You can't just sit in your 4 walls. You have to leave your house at least once a day. It's so good for your sanity. It's so good for our mental health. We need to make sure that we bring variety into the day. That can be in form of cooking, you know, try new recipes. I've shared this many times. I'm on this really healthy journey, looking after and nurturing my body. And I've been experimenting so much with food. I love having different colors on my plate. I love experimenting with herbs and spices because I'm now cooking salt free, which is a really big challenge for me. It was actually bigger than leaving gluten out. So there's a whole lot of variety in my day these days when I'm cooking, because I love experimenting and I love learning to cook new things. It is also in terms of change up your routine, because we are in such a Groundhog Day mentality at the moment, and even I felt the effect of it. It is important to throw different things in, change things up a little bit, do a reverse dinner with your boys. We've done it every now and then when Rob was still around, as in starting a reverse dinner, starting with dessert, and then work your way through to the main course. See how you can add variety to your life. Pick a person that you haven't talked to for a really long time. Pick up the phone and talk to him or her. Have a Zoom call, or write a letter, a handwritten letter. This is really, really amazing. And speaking about which, the final session is coming up. This is just a quick ad break for our final session of From Grief to Relief in 2 days' time here in Loving Love After Loss. Anyway, coming back to our pairs, certainty, variety. Can you see how important it is that you have both of that? We need the certainty, what we can rely on in our lives, but we also need the variety to spice it up a little bit and don't feel like we are living Groundhog Day over and over again. Then we have the other couple, the other pair, which is significance and love and connection. You can also tell by the title alone how important it is in the times that we're living through, and also in the world of grief that we're going through, to still feel significant. That was a really big point for me when Rob passed away, because significance is something that I have struggled with from my childhood, and it was an ongoing topic that kept coming back in different times of my life where I felt I wasn't significant enough for one special person. And it's really interesting how much healing I have done around that, and how many beautiful people were sent into my life for me to learn that. And that takes me back to a talk that I did, and I really invite you to look this up, either on the YouTube channel when you're here, or in the group. In our group, Loving Love After Loss, when you go to the guide section, you will find it. I did a talk on chain reaction of healing, and this is where I touch on this. I only ever sent you angels. When you can see the world from that perspective, that was from a book from Neil Donald Walsh. I only ever sent you angels. Then every person was sent to you for you to learn something, for you to gain something from that interaction, from that connection with that person. And when it comes to the topic significance, and you think about every person in your life being sent to you for you to learn something, I believe you'll feel very significant pretty soon. It was an eye-opener for me. It was healing for me. It was beautiful, and I allowed it straight into my heart. And living your life from that perspective is really enriching, empowering, and so giving. It's so beautiful, all the things that you receive when you look at your life from that perspective. So significance gets a big tick from me. And then we look at love and connection. Love and connection is something that we all so desperately need in this world right now. This is why I love talking about love. This is why I love spreading love. This is why I love getting life in my movement, talking about love. And I am constantly reaching out to people, telling them how important they are for me, how much I love them. And it's really interesting, I want to share this with you quickly, so you understand there are such cultural differences. There are countries where it rolls really easy off your tongue, the I love you. And there are other countries where it has a way deeper and more connected and more intimate meaning. Like I'm a bit tongue-tied today. In a country where I was born, which is Austria, it is really rather a very intimate meaning when you tell somebody I love you. It's not like in the English language where you can just say it to a friend and really mean it, and they don't feel awkward about it. So when I started doing that to my Austrian friends, I remember they were a little bit, oh, that's a bit awkward, Marie's telling me she loves me. And they soon realized it's, there are just the cultural differences. But when you soften those borders that we put up around us, the protection mechanism that we put up around us, and realize it all comes from a space of love. It's so beautiful and it flows a lot easier from heart to heart. And I love telling people that I love them. And I know that this comes from the time when my dad passed and I was 20 and I didn't have the chance to say goodbye. I missed that final moment of saying goodbye to him, and it took me many, many years to actually be at peace with that. It really stuck with me for a long time, and it was like a little thorn in my heart not having had a chance to say goodbye to my dad. And from that moment onwards, I promised to myself that I would never hold back telling people how much I love them, telling people how much they mean to me. And that to me was probably one of the biggest gifts in adversity that I had received throughout my dad's passing. So much so that when Rob passed away, and he was 5 hours flights away from me, and it was very sudden, and obviously I never had the chance to say goodbye to him, I realized that I didn't need that chance because there was nothing left unsaid between Rob and I. And that is due to the really, really beautiful gift that I received through my dad's passing. I never held back with Rob. I always told him how much he meant to me, how much I loved him. And that to me was one of the biggest blessings throughout him passing over, that I didn't feel, I wish I would have said that to him. I wish I would have amended that between us. I wish I would have. There was none of that. None. And I do understand what a huge blessing that is for me. And I really honor that. I carry that in my heart. It gives me so much peace and so much joy and even more love, knowing that nothing was left unsaid between him and I. And I'd really love for you to sit with that for a bit, maybe after this life, and have a think about who have you got in your life right now that you would like to be at peace with, that you would like to reach out. Or it doesn't even have to be anything that needs to be amended. It might just be a person that you haven't told how much you love them. And that can be a friend, that can be a relative. It doesn't really matter. Just think about those people who you really want to tell how much they mean to you, and just do it. I really urge you to do that. If anything comes out of this video, then it is, please go around and tell people how much they mean to you. You have no idea how much one little sentence could change their life right now. We are all sitting in such desperation for connection, that love and connection, that every drop is like soaked up like by a dry sponge, if that makes sense. We really need love and connection in our lives. It is so important, and it's actually quite easy for us to give it. And maybe you're sitting there thinking, well, no, it's not easy for me. Well, here's the thing. I understand that this is really harsh to say, but I often say to people, when you are in a situation where you left things unsaid, I always say to people, now imagine today would be the last time you'd have the chance to talk to them. And I don't want you to be running around thinking, oh my God, something could happen to people. So what if I lose this person tomorrow? But I want you to go around living your life as if it was your last day. Don't hold back with anything. Don't go around thinking, oh, maybe I'll tell her next time when I see her or him. Just tell people. I have been doing this for such a long time, just to walk around and share my heart. And believe me, you get just as much out of this as the other person does, because this is what forms the true connection. Telling people from heart to heart. This is the very reason why I called my first healing journey Heart to Heart, because that's what we need. We need this heart to heart connection. This is what nurtures us. This is what allows us to grow and connect as human beings. And that brings me to the last pair: growing, growth, and contribution. The first four things that I mentioned, the first two pairs, the certainty and variety, and love and connection significance, we need for our survival. They're of utmost importance. And the last pair is for our spiritual development, for our spiritual connection, growth and contribution. We all strive to grow in our life. You know, what is your spiritual growth? How far have you come? And only you can be the judge of your growth and development. You be the judge and really look into where are you with this right now. I'm just quickly checking this one message. Gail, when I think about someone, I have to contact them immediately. Yeah, that is so beautiful. I love that you do that because why miss a chance? You know, why miss a moment? And it doesn't have to be the final chance that you have, but why miss the moment of telling people how much they mean to you? I love that. So, coming back to growth and contribution, you are the only person who can really go into your heart and say, how far have I come with my growth, with my spiritual growth in this lifetime? How happy am I with where I'm at? And if I'm not happy, what can I do to change it? That's always my favorite question. If you're not happy with where you are right now, with who you are right now, what can I do to change it? Way too many people go into what they can't change and forget about or don't realize what they actually have that they can change. And this is what I would want us to focus on. What is it that we can change in our lives right now that contributes to our growth? And with that, we're going to the very last point, contribution. You will realize that when you have done a certain amount of growth, we always get into this wanting to contribute. In other words, wanting to share what we have learned with the outside world. That starts from very little up until the very last day here on earth. It is really something that you can notice with people. The more growth there is, the more they want to contribute. And this is the very most beautiful, very most beautiful. I really struggle with my words today. It is so funny, but they're all just blubbering out of my heart that I can hardly catch up with sharing them with you today. It's incredible. I feel so much flow happening today. So if I'm really blah, 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 coming out with those words like that, please forgive me. That's just all the excitement about what I have to share here today. So, contribution, really think about how can I contribute to the world around me and how far can I spread those ripples into the world? What can I do to contribute to making the world around me, my environment, a more beautiful place to live in for me, for others, and then how far can that ripple into the world? I couldn't believe when I started Loving Life After Loss how quickly it turned into a global movement and spread ripples around the world. This was the most beautiful part for me, seeing what an impact our love, our positivity, our hope, our healing, our happiness, our joy that we're spreading in here, in this movement, ripples into this world. And that fills my heart with joy. So, in this world of grief that we are all sitting in at the moment, where can you see your growth and where can you allow your contribution to have an impact on others? If anything of that touches you so deeply that you want to share with me, please share it in the group, send me a private message. I try just to be kind, and I wouldn't even put the word just in there. Trying to be kind is so not just being something. It is so beautiful. It is so important. And I love that you share this example, girl, because being kind is really of utmost importance in our world, in our society right now. We desperately need it. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe to the channel, put on the notifications that you get notifications when I go live. Share a comment. I'd really love to know where you're at. I really want this to be an interaction. So give me something that you got out of that. I'd really love for you to tell me what is the most important takeaway for you from what I have just shared. So sit with your 6 human needs and maybe share that with somebody else as well. I'm sending you so much love straight from my heart to yours. This is Maria Lesser signing off. Bye for now.